Crash. The Lagos morning show studio erupted in chaos. Camera shook. Producers screamed. The entire crew rushed toward the collapsed figure on the floor. Jennifer Okoro, Nigeria's most famous TV host, lay unconscious in front of 10 million live viewers. Her perfect makeup was smeared with tears. Her expensive dress was twisted around her legs. She looked like she had seen the devil himself. "Get the cameras off her," the director shouted. But it was too late. The whole of Nigeria had just watched their beloved TV queen faint like a village girl seeing her first airplane. What could make the strongest woman on Nigerian television collapse like a house of cards? What could make a woman who had insulted presidents and embarrassed billionaires shake like a leaf in the wind? The answer was sitting calmly in the guest chair, watching Jennifer's unconscious body with a cold smile. The man who had just destroyed her with only 4 words. "Hello, Jennifer. Remember me?" This wasn't just any man. This was Samuel Okafor, the same Samuel Okafor who now owned half of Lagos. The same Samuel Okafor whose company was worth more money than some African countries. The same Samuel Okafor who had just bought the TV station Jennifer worked for, without her knowing it. And 15 years ago, this same Samuel Okafor had been the poorest, ugliest security guard in Lagos. The same security guard Jennifer had publicly destroyed with the cruelest words ever spoken on Nigerian soil. "You are too poor, too ugly, and too stupid to ever get a woman like me. No woman will ever love you." Those words had been recorded, shared 1,000,000 times, and had made Samuel the most mocked man in Nigeria. But now, as Jennifer lay unconscious on the floor, those same words were about to become her nightmare. The security guard was back, and he had brought billions with him. But how did we get here? Let me take you back to where it all began. 15 years earlier, in the busy streets of Ikeja, Lagos, lived a young man named Samuel Okafor. Samuel was not like other boys his age. While they played football and chased girls, Samuel spent his time reading old newspapers and dreaming of becoming rich. But Samuel had one big problem. He was not handsome. His skin was rough and dark. His teeth were crooked. His clothes were always dirty because his family was very poor. Other people, especially girls, always laughed at him. Samuel's father sold pure water on the street. His mother washed clothes for rich people. They lived in a small room in Mushin where the roof leaked when it rained. Samuel knew he had to change his life, but he didn't know how. At 19, Samuel got a job as a security guard at a big bank in Victoria Island. He worked at night and slept during the day. The pay was small, but it was better than nothing. Every month he saved half of his salary. He had a plan. One day something happened that changed everything. Samuel was walking home from work when he saw a crowd of people gathered around something. He pushed through to see what was happening. In the middle of the crowd was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. She was tall and light-skinned with long hair and perfect teeth. She wore expensive clothes and gold jewelry. Her name was Jennifer Okoro, and she was already famous. She had won Miss Lagos the year before and was now a model and TV presenter. Everyone loved her. Everyone wanted to be near her. Samuel fell in love immediately. For weeks, Samuel found excuses to walk past the TV station where Jennifer worked. He learned her schedule. He knew what time she arrived and what time she left. He dreamed about talking to her, but he was too afraid. Finally, one day Samuel got courage. Jennifer was walking to her car after work when Samuel approached her. "Excuse me, Miss Jennifer," Samuel said nervously. "My name is Samuel. I think you are very beautiful." Jennifer stopped and looked at him. She looked at his cheap clothes, his rough skin, his nervous smile. Then she started laughing. "Are you serious?" Jennifer laughed loud enough for other people to hear. "You think I would talk to someone like you?" A small crowd began to gather. Jennifer's laughter attracted attention. Samuel felt his face burning with shame, but he couldn't move. "Look at yourself," Jennifer continued, her voice getting louder. "Look at your dirty clothes. Look at your face. You're poor and ugly. What makes you think a woman like me would even look at you? More people gathered. Some started laughing too. Samuel wanted to disappear, but his feet felt stuck to the ground. Jennifer wasn't finished. She walked closer to Samuel, making sure everyone could hear her. "Listen to me very carefully," she said, pointing her finger at his face. "You are not my type. You will never be my type. You are too poor, too ugly, and too stupid to ever get a woman like me. No woman will ever love you. Do you understand me?" The crowd erupted in laughter. Someone took out their phone and started recording. Samuel's humiliation was being captured for everyone to see. "Please," Samuel whispered, "don't do this." Jennifer smiled cruelly. "Oh, you're embarrassed? Good. Maybe now you'll know your place. Stay away from me and stay away from women who are too good for you." She got in her car and drove away, leaving Samuel standing there, surrounded by laughing people and phone cameras. The video would later go viral on social media with the title, "Poor Security Guard Gets Destroyed by Beautiful TV Star." Samuel finally found the strength to walk away. He went home to his small room and cried. He had never felt such pain before. Not even when his family had no food. Not even when other kids at school laughed at his torn shoes. This was different. This cut deeper. But as Samuel lay on his bed that night, something changed inside him. The pain slowly turned into something else. It turned into anger, then determination, then pure, burning ambition. Samuel got up and looked at himself in the broken mirror on his wall. "Jennifer Okoro," he said to his reflection, "you just made the biggest mistake of your life. I will show you who Samuel Okafor really is. I will become so rich and powerful that you will regret every word you said to me. I promise you that." Samuel didn't know it yet, but that night would change everything. The humiliation Jennifer gave him would fuel a fire inside him that would burn for 15 years. It would drive him to work harder than any human being should work. It would push him to take risks that scared other people. It would make him into something extraordinary. But Samuel also didn't know that Jennifer's cruelty would come back to haunt her in ways she never imagined. The video of her mocking him would disappear from the internet years later, but Samuel would never forget. He would remember every word, every laugh, every finger she pointed at him. And one day, when Samuel had more money than Jennifer could ever dream of, he would make sure she remembered too. The security guard Jennifer mocked was about to disappear forever. In his place would rise a man who would shock the world. A man who would make Jennifer Okoro faint on live television in front of millions of people. But that's a story for tomorrow. But how did Samuel Okafor go from being the most mocked security guard in Lagos to owning half the city? The answer lies in 15 years of pure determination and an anger that never died. After Jennifer's public humiliation, Samuel didn't cry for long. He got up from his bed that night and made a decision that would change everything. He quit his security job the next day and used his small savings to buy old phones from Computer Village. While other young men were chasing girls and drinking beer, Samuel was learning. He watched YouTube videos about business. He read every book about money he could find. He studied how rich people think and act. Samuel started small. He would buy broken phones, fix them with parts from other broken phones, and sell them for profit. Soon he was making more money than his security job ever paid. But Samuel wasn't satisfied. He had bigger dreams. In 2010, when smartphones were just coming to Nigeria, Samuel saw an opportunity. He used all his money to import the first batch of Android phones to Lagos. People called him crazy. "Who will buy these expensive phones?" They laughed. But Samuel was right. Within 6 months he had sold everything and made his first ₦1,000,000. That was just the beginning. Samuel reinvested everything. He opened the first smartphone repair center in Ikeja, then another in Victoria Island, then 5 more across Lagos. By 2015 he owned the biggest phone business in West Africa. But phones were just the start of Samuel's master plan. In 2016, Samuel launched Nigeria's first mobile payment app. Banks laughed at him. "A poor boy from Mushin wants to compete with us?" they said. 2 years later, Samuel's app had 50 million users. The same banks that laughed at him were begging to partner with him. By 2020, Samuel Okafor was worth 500 billion naira. He owned tech companies, real estate, oil wells, and even a private airline. Forbes magazine called him Africa's youngest tech billionaire. But through all his success, Samuel never forgot Jennifer's words. Every night before sleep, he would remember her cruel laughter. Every business deal he made, he thought about her pointing finger. Every billion he earned, he pictured her face when she called him ugly and stupid. Samuel had been planning his revenge for 15 years. And now it was time. 3 months before the Lagos morning show incident, Samuel had done something nobody expected. He bought Channel 7 television, the same TV station where Jennifer worked as the star presenter. But Samuel didn't announce himself as the owner. He worked through lawyers and shell companies. Jennifer had no idea that the poor security guard she once mocked now owned her job, her salary, and her entire career. Samuel spent weeks studying Jennifer's life. He learned that she was now 37 years old and still unmarried. He discovered that her modeling career had ended years ago, and TV presenting was her only source of income. He found out that she lived in a rented apartment in Lekki and drove a car that was bought on loan. Jennifer was not as successful as she pretended to be on social media. Samuel also learned something else. Jennifer had completely forgotten about him. The incident that had shaped his entire life was just a random Tuesday to her. She had humiliated so many people over the years that Samuel was just another face in the crowd. This made Samuel even more determined to make sure she never forgot him again. The plan was simple but brilliant. Samuel would appear as a mystery guest on Jennifer's morning show. The producers thought they were getting an exclusive interview with Nigeria's most mysterious billionaire. They had no idea they were setting up their star presenter for the shock of her life. When Jennifer walked into the studio that morning, she was excited. Interviewing a secret billionaire would boost her career and give her the fame she desperately wanted. She sat down, adjusted her makeup, and smiled at the cameras. She had no idea that her life was about to explode. Samuel walked onto the set wearing a custom-made suit that cost more than Jennifer's annual salary. His face had been transformed by years of good food, exercise, and expensive skincare. His teeth were now perfect, fixed by the best dentist money could buy. His skin glowed with health and confidence. But his eyes still held the pain and anger of that day 15 years ago. "Good morning, Lagos." Jennifer smiled at the camera. "Today we have a very special guest. Nigeria's youngest billionaire has agreed to reveal his identity for the first time on our show." The camera turned to Samuel, but his face was still in shadow. "So, Mr. Mystery," Jennifer continued, "our viewers are dying to know who you are. You've donated billions to charity, but nobody knows your name." Samuel leaned forward slightly. "Actually, Jennifer, there's someone in this studio who knows exactly who I am." Jennifer looked confused. "Really? Who?" Samuel's voice turned ice cold. "You do. You know me very well. In fact, you once told the whole world that I was too ugly, too poor, and too stupid for any woman to love." Jennifer's smile began to fade. Something about his voice sounded familiar, but she couldn't place it. I don't understand," she stammered. Samuel stood up and stepped into the light. The camera captured every detail of his transformed face. "Hello, Jennifer. Remember me now?" Jennifer stared at him for a full 10 seconds. Her brain was trying to process what she was seeing. The voice was familiar. The eyes were familiar. But this couldn't be the same person. This man was rich, handsome, powerful. The man she remembered was poor, ugly, weak. Then it hit her like lightning. "Samuel?" she whispered. "Samuel Okafor?" "That's right," Samuel smiled coldly. "The same Samuel you publicly humiliated 15 years ago. The same Samuel you called ugly and stupid. The same Samuel you said no woman would ever love." Jennifer's hands started shaking. Her perfect TV presenter composure was cracking like glass. But that's impossible, she said. You were just a security guard. You were nobody. Samuel pulled out his phone and played a video. It was the same video from 15 years ago. Jennifer pointing at him, laughing, calling him ugly and poor. The video that had made him famous for all the wrong reasons. Does this refresh your memory? Samuel asked. Jennifer watched herself on the screen, and the full weight of what was happening crashed down on her. The poor security guard she had destroyed was now worth more money than she could imagine. And he was sitting right in front of her, on live television, in front of 10 million viewers. Jennifer, Samuel continued, do you want to know something interesting? Jennifer couldn't speak. She just stared at him with wide, terrified eyes. I own this TV station, Samuel said calmly. I bought it 3 months ago. Which means I'm your boss now. Jennifer's face went completely white. And Jennifer, Samuel leaned forward, you're fired. The words hit Jennifer like a physical blow. 15 years of karma had just crashed down on her head in the most public way possible. You can't do this, she whispered. Actually, I can, Samuel smiled. Just like you had the right to humiliate me 15 years ago, I have the right to fire you today. The difference is, when you destroyed me, I was innocent. When I'm destroying you, it's justice. Jennifer tried to stand up, but her legs wouldn't work. The studio was spinning around her. The lights were too bright. The cameras were too close. 10 million people were watching her world collapse in real time. Please, she begged. I was young and stupid. I didn't mean. Oh, you meant every word, Samuel cut her off. And now so do I. That's when Jennifer's body finally gave up. The shock, the shame, the terror of losing everything, it was too much. Her eyes rolled back and she collapsed to the floor with a loud crash. The studio erupted in chaos, but Samuel remained calm. He had waited 15 years for this moment. Seeing Jennifer unconscious on the floor, her perfect image destroyed in front of millions, was worth every sleepless night, every hour of hard work, every risk he had taken. As the medical team rushed to help Jennifer, Samuel stood up and walked toward the camera. Let this be a lesson to everyone watching, he said directly to the viewers. Be careful how you treat people. The person you step on today might be the one who crushes you tomorrow. Samuel walked out of the studio, leaving behind the chaos and Jennifer's destroyed career. The video of Jennifer fainting went viral within hours. Memes flooded social media. Hashtag Jennifer fainted became the #1 trending topic in Africa. But Samuel wasn't done yet. He had one more surprise for Jennifer, one that would change her life forever.